Hello there, Internet. MegaMogwai here, and I got another Legends of Runeterra video for you guys today. And today it's gonna be all about KALISTA, the newly redesigned champion, and I'm gonna be talking about a deck that I featured her in. But before I hop onto the deck tech portion of this video, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a ramble in regards to my first impressions for the new KALISTA, and I'm gonna go ahead and say they're not that good of a first impression. Now, let me elaborate as to why I say this, right? So, one of my main issues with KALISTA after extensive testing with her, because keep in mind that I streamed over 9 hours yesterday, right? Half of that stream was me just doing random expeditions, waiting for the patch to hit. But you could say that I played KALISTA for between 4 and 5 hours, right? So these are my first impressions after 4 to 5 hours of gameplay with KALISTA in all sorts of different decks that I designed around her. As the day prior, I started theory crafting these decks so that I would be ready to test them out on the stream, right? And that is what we did. So one of my main gripes with KALISTA, first of all, is the fact that if you do not level her up, I believe her stat line and her body alongside her ability for her cost is overall very underwhelming. And I'm going to explain this by comparing her to other early game champions that we have right here. For example, Elise, Lucian, and Fiora, right? Why are these three, in my opinion, straight up superior when it comes to, a non-leveled up version of the champion? Well, Lucian is perhaps the one that I compare KALISTA to the most. Lucian is a 2-mana 3/2 with quick attack, right? Lucian has an ability to attack early on in the game and not really be blocked. The quick attack makes it difficult to deal with him, and overall his stat line is really high quality when it comes to 2-drop, right? A 2-mana 3/2 is really strong because it's a 2-drop that can trade into fearsome units, and that really does make a difference. Obviously, his longevity is hindered with the 2 health, but with the quick attack keyword, you obviously want a stronger attack stat on top of that, right? So Lucian, it has a good stat line and the good keyword ability for 2 mana. Fiora is a 3-mana 3/3, so she has lesser stats than KALISTA, but the challenger keyword is much better than fearsome on a unit with a 3 health stat line. Why? Because we can choose what to trade into with Fiora. And Fiora on her own on turn 3 tends to be a really solid play because you can pick off your opponent's weaker units and get favorable trades for you. As if you have combat tricks to back her up, she becomes more and more dangerous as her level up requirement is completely linked to her. And then Elise is a 2-mana 2/3 with fearsome. Great stat line as well. 3/2 and 2/3, obviously really solid stat lines, though you can argue 3/2 is better. But in Elise's case, she benefits more from the durability that the health stat of 3 gives her, right? As she has fearsome, which makes her harder to block, and is generating you spiders upon attacking every single time, which gives her the ability to start generating value on her own without any sort of prior support. This is the trait of a strong champion. A strong champion obviously has a potential synergistic, game plan that can snowball its value potential, right? I don't know if I expressed this correctly. Basically, a champion, through certain keys, should give you the ability to gain really strong value if you combine it with specific cards. But a good champion, on top of that, should be able to hold its own ground on its own due to its stat line and its abilities for its cost, right? And while I do believe Elise, Lucian, and Fiora do, provide in this sense, I don't believe KALISTA does. And why do I not think KALISTA does? Because for 3 mana, a 4/3, obviously it's better than what she was before, right? But right now, she's a 3-mana 4/3 with fearsome. She lost the bond ability of giving a unit +2 attack, which was pretty valuable on its own, even though I've stated numerous times that I thought that ability was very boring. I missed preview beta KALISTA, which would bond with a unit upon entry, and then that unit would take all the damage for her. That gave her a really interesting ability, right? Non-leveled up KALISTA is actually not that exciting of a card. It's a 3-mana 4/3 with fearsome. Why is this not as efficient as Elise, Lucian, or Fiora, for example? Or, for example, the likes of Zed as well. Because the 4/3 stat line with fearsome is not really great for a 3-drop in a world, or rather in a metagame in which 2-mana 3/2s are very popular. Bright Steel Protector, Chempunk Pickpocket, you know, I could go on and on. Like every region has, you know, the Arachnoid Sentry from Shadow Isles. Like every region has access to 2-mana 3/2s, and most of them are pretty damn popular in ranked. And these units can trade favorably or evenly, with Kalista when they cost 1 mana less. Well, this is pretty relevant because there's a lot of games in which you play Kalista on curve, and because your opponent has a 2-mana 3/2 on the board, you don't really get to attack with her, right? So what's there to do afterwards? Wait until she gets an opening, or your opponent makes a mistake, or you're able to get that 3/2 off the board. You're kind of halted, right? So the other like thing to do with Kalista is, well, aiming to level her up, and that is what I focused on with all of my decks, because I immediately realized that the 3-mana 4/3 Fearsome Kalista was just not gonna cut it. She needs to level up to provide us with, you know, a reason to play her, right? Her leveled up version is way more interesting. As you can see, this huge chunk of text: the first time I attack each round, revive an attacking ephemeral copy of the strongest dead allied follower. This round, we're bonded and it takes damage from me. Now, after extensive testing, and I managed to level up Kalista a lot, like a great portion of my games, I managed to level her up because of the way I would design my decks. But let me just say that it is not easy, because she shares the same requirement as Lucian to level up, and we all know that Lucian doesn't tend to level up that often, right? Even despite the fact that he has a shortcut way to level up with Senna. Kalista doesn't have a shortcut and has the same requirement as Lucian, so this already applies some rather heavy indirect deck building restrictions, because you want to be able to enable Kalista to level up. So you need to be able to level her up relatively easily, which is easier said than done, and also have a solid unit to revive her with, so you can get good value out of that. And this is, after like almost 5 hours of playing with her, I ultimately realized that the payoff for her level up is not really worth the investment to getting that level up happening to begin with, right? And this sucks, because I really wanted to, you know, come at this video with you and just tell you, you know, Kalista is amazing. She's so cool. I had incredible games with her, and the deck is the tits. And the reality is that's not the case. She did put in the work. She did win me some games. Her level up version is very interesting for sure. I love the design. I just think it's lacking in power. I just think it's limited. I think the fact that she requires 4 allies to die is definitely a bit too much. I think it's very hard to get this, you know, going consistently, and I don't think the amount of investment that you have to do to enable this, I don't think you're getting that big of a payoff, because at the end of the day, right now, this version of Kalista is like a glorified non-leveled up Zed in a way, because you're bringing back an ephemeral unit, but if that ephemeral unit is not big enough, all your opponent needs to do is block Kalista. Yeah, he won't damage Kalista, but he'll prevent that ephemeral unit that you revived from hitting the opponents in the face. So it doesn't really, like, the key thing to do with Kalista is you want units that have basically upon entry effects, like when I'm summoned, right? Good examples are the Wraithcaller, or potentially the Rekindler, even Tiana. In this particular deck that I have for you guys today, what we're doing is we're trying to abuse her with the Ancient Crocolith, right? We're trying to bring back the Ancient Crocolith, which is 7/7, and as we bring back the Ancient Crocolith with Kalista, we have a huge body that can take hits for her and still remain on the board because of his thickness and hit my opponent for 7, or whatever's in front of it for 7, right? In this case, Kalista really does ultimately shine, right? I tried other variants. I tried Piltover and Zon aggro with Phantom Prankster. I tried a greedier version with the Rekindler, because the Rekindler can bring her back. And there's an interesting loop going on there with Tiana as well, which gives you rally. But all of these, like, when you go so greedy with Kalista, and you also have to incorporate a bunch of early games so that you can have plays to enable her to level up, it becomes just, you're making a really convoluted deck that the payoff you're getting off is just not enough. A lot of times with this deck, the real star was actually Lucian, because the reasoning for me using Lucian and Kalista in the same deck is that they have the same level of requirement, right? And because they have the same level of requirement, I can justify playing cards like Haunted Relic and enable both of them to level up. All of a sudden I have 6 cards in my deck, not 3, that benefit from this card, and I can use it to set up the other level ups. And in a lot of cases, I was just happier to see Lucian level up than Kalista, because Lucian can put in some massive work with his rally effect. Like, there's a lot of very neat things you can do. So we have like a bit of an evolution from the Lucian Undying deck, with a bit of extra early game support with Hapless Aristocrat to enable the Ancient Crocodile to have targets to actually be dropped onto the board, as we are combining that alongside Chronicler of Ruin to get some neat, you know, benefits from our last breath effects. And the entire objective is, like I said, to level up Kalista or Lucian and go on from there. It's a deck. This deck is solid in the sense that it can take on a lot of decks in the metagame, and it's I would say this could be a legit like tier 3, tier 2 deck, but maybe tier 3. I'm not sure if it reaches tier 2 status. I'd have to play more with it. The problem is, I do believe Kalista at the end of the day does potentially hold this concept back a little bit, because she's just not good enough right now. And that's my first impressions on her. I'm not saying this is an absolute fact. Maybe I just haven't been able to build a deck around her properly. I will be venturing into Kalista more and more as time passes, and I'll try to see if I can crack the right deck in which she's just at home and she works perfectly, but I haven't been able to figure that out yet. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist, just because I haven't figured it out in the first day of me trying the card by any means, but I felt like it was important for me to share these first impressions, and that's why today's like deck tech video is like way longer. I'm kind of like rambling at this point, but I was really excited about this card, and I wanted to make sure that in this video I was honest with you guys, and I let you know that, you know, she did let me down. Like, I was expecting more from her, and power level wise, I think she's lacking, and I think she should receive a buff in the future. That's what I think right now. But maybe my opinion and my mindset can change over time. Like I said, it's still very early, but I did try her a lot, and she just wasn't really all that great. So I'm gonna send you guys some over to some gameplay, basically, that I recorded in the high masters rank yesterday with it. You're gonna see this deck put in the work in some cases, but also struggle as well. And hopefully you guys enjoy the matches. Hopefully you guys don't mind this huge ass intro, but it wasn't a regular deck tech. Like, I really just wanted to explain about, like, this is basically like as if it were a new card, right? And I feel like it's important to, you know, for me to like actually explain exactly why I feel the way I feel about it, and hopefully I did a decent job at that. So having that said, hopefully you guys enjoy the games, and stay tuned for tomorrow's video, because for tomorrow I have a really strong deck that I built yesterday night. It's around Karma and Lux and the Mage Seekers, and I'm really proud of it. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. So yeah, have a solid day, enjoy the games, and I'll see you tomorrow. That's one of the, I forgot to change the board. That's one of the things that I need to execute better with this deck. Oh, Black Spear. The Black Spear nerf was also brutal, dude. Was brutal like several times that game. This card costing 3 mana just murdered us. Completely, dude. I'm gonna keep it here though, because it is an answer to I'm not gonna play the maybe I should play the Hapless Aristocrat.
That egg, did it move? Oh yes, she does love music.
I'm just gonna go for as much damage as I can. Like, none of these are great. I mean, this is not a bad Vile Feast target.
I must get out of here.
I'm also like not putting any spell mana though, which is important to know. The Undying is also really neat here.
My path is clear.
We'll float the mana anyways, doesn't really matter. We can drop the Undying now. I don't need to play another aristocrat, I think.
I must get out of here.
Floating this mana next turn, I have 5, 7 mana in total. This could be useful. I'm gonna go for the attack with these anyways.
Find enlightenment.
I could go for the Mark of the Owls, but I'd rather make good use out of my Vile Feast here. Like unless he has a twin, unless he has a twin disciplines here, I'm gonna go for this now. Just so that he, like, because later in the line he could have more mana to potentially react around it.
No suffering, so we may end it.
Alright, so 5 cards in hand. This is 5 cards in hand. My board is looking a little bit better, for sure. That's a neat draw. It's a problem with these things. I mean, I want to keep this in case I top that KALISTA, right? This is an easy enabler. Alongside Ravenous Butcher, so I may actually have to, like, not... you know, be more patient with this, but at the same time, considering the matchup I'm facing here, let's see what he does. Wow.
Virtue guides me.
I could play this, but then again, like I said, I'm preserving these as a way to level up. Ooh, Lucian is really neat, though. Lucian is really damn neat. I think we go for the open attack, though.
Banish the unworthy.
Push back the darkness. I'll bring them peace.
Strength from within.
Show me that Runation. Show me that Runation. That's why I like this card. That's why I like Haunted Relic. There it is. We go for the Glimpse Beyond. Get the rally effect.
The end. What's that noise?
Justice will be served.
No. I must get out of here.
Gotcha. Beautiful. That's how you do it. That Lucian setup was fucking sexy, man. Holy crap. Thank you, man. Arigato gozaimasu. So we do a full mulligan except for KALISTA. That's a pretty neat curve. I feel like this deck may need 3 of the is it called Hollowed Secrets? The 2 mana spawn ephemerals.
Lady Elise, where are you?
I'm gonna lead off with the Hapless Aristocrat.
No.
Get an attack off there. Lucian and Senna. Nice.
Everything's better with company.
I mean, we could go for a Vile Feast here, but he could also have an Elixir of Iron. I don't want to play into that, so I'm gonna drop
Push
Lucian.
back the darkness.
Full speed ahead.
We don't really mind. Now, Kalista is interesting, but I think we definitely have to go Senna here.
I've always got your back.
Don't worry about me.
Because we already have a Lucian on the board.
Order rewards its faithful.
I must get out of here.
So if he blocks here and he pumps an Elixir of Iron to trade into this, I threaten a double attack there.
I must get out of here. No, 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 no.
Let's go for the full attack.
Purity and peace.
Because, like I said, Elixir of Iron onto this enables him to survive the trade, but that also enables Senna to hit him for 10 damage.
Too late for you.
He's gonna go for that instead. Get a nice clean hit off on him there. We have Relentless Pursuit as well, which is really neat. I can always trigger Senna with the Ravenous Butcher.
Eyes open. Watch your rances.
There's still the big threat of like an Elixir of Iron that he's holding on to. Because normally I would go for this. But he's meticulously keeping 1 mana every time. So I am convinced this man has an Elixir of Iron. Super convinced. So I think I want to go with this. I'm sorry, Lucian. I'm sorry, bro. I need you to get pissed. I need you angry. I'm sorry, man. Forgive me.
This is mercy.
Looking for this?
I'll take care of this.
Her spears are pointing out. They count how many have died. That is so fucking cool. That is so cool. I just realized this. That is so dope. Why do you always kill my wife? I'm sorry.
They'll never see me coming.
That is so damn dope, man. I could have got in hindsight I could have gone for a Vile Feast, but I didn't know he was gonna block as much into that. He has 2 chump blockers here. I want to clear that first.
They cannot strike what
Oh,
they cannot
shit.
see.
Oh shit. Oh shit, this is actually gonna work out really well. Holy fuck.
Open.
It will be done.
Needs to block there. We don't mind if he takes the... Okay, so this drops him down to 5. And then afterwards, what's my strongest unit? Is it just the... It's Senna, right? It's actually Senna. Which means, if I go for the Mark of the Owls now...
Our vengeance has burned long enough. Act now! The wrong shall find their vengeance!
Here we go, boys! Dungeons! Surprise, motherfucker!
Won't get away this time.
Their treachery ends now!
I mean, he's still gonna live. He still lived, right? Though, like if he blocked those. Oh no, he doesn't have fear. It's fearsome. It's fearsome. Of course, I forgot about that. Oh, hey, we're back, baby. We're back. On paper, ooh. On paper, Crocolith should be really good in this deck. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Vohai-yo.
Achilles, where are you?
We can't jump this fearsome unit. Holy crap. Arigatou gozaimasu. Alright, so I do need to play this. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Hey.
To slow him down. Ooh, that's neat. That's neat. That's neat. That's very neat. Arigatou gozaimasu. I'm gonna take 5 damage. I could also play another Ravenous Butcher to enable a blocker. And I honestly think that's fine. We want to prevent damage, right? Because we get to do this and this. We minimize the damage, which is really important. Now we play the Undying. I mean, I think we just go aggressive. I think we just go hyper aggressive. This is where a Crocolith would be pretty neat.
Undying, or you get a new one every time.
If the strong card you have is an Undying, no, because the Undying it counts the base stats. But yeah, you will get an Undying.
I don't bite.
We have this chump blocker for that. Yeah.
Skitter out from the darkness.
We go here. Here. I could have dropped the aristocrat, but I think this is better.
What's that noise?
I definitely was not expecting that.
I must get out of here.
I pull the strings.
No Vile Feast. No Vile Feast, please. Fuck. I have to do this now. Oh man, these draws. No, come on. Come on. Atrocity was a potential win condition there, but I had to react to what he was doing. He has so many. This Vilemaw is actually like a huge problem. Like it's actually like a massive problem.
Lady Elise, are you?
I don't know how we're making out of this now. Yeah, it's a bit late for stuff like this. GG. What cards let me down there? I think maybe like 3 hapless. I mean, hapless aristocrat felt he fucking brow waved me. What an asshole. Alright. You should have killed and resurrected your own Rasa with your Chronicle last turn before attacking. Rasa doesn't work like that though. Rasa does not work like that. Like, Rasa is a play effect, so Chronicler Ruin won't... You still would have killed the Heckrams first, so the buffs didn't matter. That's true. That's true. I keep forgetting that it's a +3. Yeah. Yeah, I misplayed that towards the end, definitely. There's no way around it. I definitely misplayed it. I actually like Haunted Relic because it gives me some good chump blockers in a pinch. I actually feel I have too many spells here in this deck. Because there's a lot of cases in which I'm just drawing nothing but spells.
Push back the darkness.
I cry every time.
I have the best job.
We shall pierce their treasonous hearts. We can give you vengeance.
I'll find vengeance on my own.
She's being nice. God damn it, Lucian. Stop being so edgy.
Their treachery ends now.
I'll offer him the trade with Draven.
This is gonna hurt for you.
Oh, he's gonna try to Whirling Death me. That ain't happening. As long as we have single combat, of course.
Time for the moneymakers.
Okay. Yeah, definitely should not have attacked KALISTA, honestly. But at the same time... Oh. Well, you see... What am I better off leveling up? What am I better off leveling up?
Our vengeance has burned long enough. Act now.
I'm thinking. Yeah, Lucian is probably better, right? In this particular case, I think Lucian is better.
Axes coming right up.
Justice will be served!
Radiant Guardian here can just shut him down.
First big mission.
We have to, you know, plan a different route. Okay.
Banish the unworthy!
There's a chill in the air.
I can do this.
Strike for justice!
No, no, no. If he opens up with an attack here, that's 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. That's a lot of damage I'm taking. I really wanted my my Radiant Guardian to survive there. No matter how I look at it, though, I feel like I have to wait. He has a one mana play.
Watch and learn.
Go ahead. Scare me. Better run.
We shall not rest until all betrayers pay.
I'll sleep when they're dead.
This is mercy. No room for doubt.
Arigato gozaimasu. This is a bit awkward because I also have this.
Our vengeance has burned long enough. Act now!
Okay, this is my best bet here.
No place for the cops. Death to all betrayers!
Let's go with this. Because I wanted to bring back the Radiant Guardian, is what's going on through my head, right? Because I want to bring back the Radiant Guardian. Killing Croc makes it so I resurrect Croc and I don't get the life gain. But at this point, I'm pretty much threatening the lethal anyways. So, yeah. I'll take it. Yeah. 28. Okay. All right, that was pretty neat. Like I said, I wanted to see if there was a way that I could do it and bring back the lifesteal. Still feels like Senna needs to be at least a 2 of. I would never take her over a single combat. I think single combat is one of the best cards in this deck, but I could consider other possible options. All right, we have a pretty decent looking curve here. I think we may have to gear more towards the I think Hollowed Secrets is actually low-key amazing in this deck. Even though there's no synergy yet, but the ability to, I mean, that's the thing though. I think if I start running that card as a 3 of, it's gonna be a problem. It's really hard to find the right distributions for this. But this archetype is really promising because when you get these going, when you get these leveled up, like the value is just over the top. That's a problem for my Lucian.
I've got your back.
He gets 5 damage on me. I'm not gonna play into that. I'm not gonna give him a free trade just to prevent 2 damage. He could pass, but you know, I don't really mind. Like I get to float the mana anyways. It's a little bit weird that he passes though. Not gonna lie. I could play Kalista. Okay, so how am I gonna approach this? I need to find a way to play Kalista and get her in with the haunted secrets. But I also need to set up a death prior. So I'm gonna play Lucian.
There's a chill in the air.
Since I have 2 of them.
Smell that?
Fights a cooking.
Burn away the shadows.
Can you stomach this?
Shit. Shit, I was not expecting that.
I failed.
Alright, that's a problem. But if I have to take the hit, I'll take the hit. I love that Ravenous Butcher. That's exactly what I want to see. Okay. Alright. We have options here. We could lead to
Push back the darkness.
could lead to a setup here. I could use this defensively. We're looking at a total of 11 damage. I think that's worth it, honestly.
Protect and strike.
Arigato gozaimasu!
I knew we'd get to see a Kalista deck today. Is it any good?
There's a chill in the air.
There can be no justice, only revenge.
Doesn't all that armor slow you down?
Slow and steady wins the war, Lucian.
Our vengeance has burned long enough. Act now!
I stand ready. Fear is the first of many foes. Hold fast.
I'll bring them peace.
The wrongs shall find their vengeance!
This is where I wish I had a Relentless Pursuit.
Hand to the face.
Honor guide me.
Bring in the heat.
Can't fight on an empty stomach.
You have earned your fate.
Press on.
There's a chill in the air.
Elise, where are you?
Can't save them all.
I don't have an opening. Garen
My shield is yours.
is applying a lot of pressure.
I've always got your back.
Don't worry about me.
doubt.
So if we single combat.
You have to get me out of here.
Don't duck on my account.
Please, I have connections.
You monster!
We must not relent!
I fail.
Yep, I got beat down. I'm not sure. There's several things I think I want to change with the deck.
Virtue guides me.
GG.